Trust began a nature program for Bahamas youth called the Discovery Club.
One of the most important values that I've learned from being in the Discovery Club is that it's our responsibility to take care of the environment and that we must take steps to help and protect it.
Conservationists have worked with the Bahamas government to create 25 national parks covering over 700,000 acres of land and sea. These parks span from Walker's Cay, Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Andros, Exumas, Conception Island, Crooked Island, and Little and Great Inaugural. While the government of the Bahamas provides considerable funding support for the national park system, the trust still needs additional funds to acquire more patrol boats, develop better facilities, create educational programs, and hire additional staff. The Bahamas National Trust must depend mainly on private donations to continue protecting these national treasures. If you wish to see these pristine parks treated with the respect and protection they deserve for your children and their children, then please support the Bahamas National Trust.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Ministry for Grand Bahama welcomes inaugural passengers from Raleigh, North Carolina. Plus, 27 Cuban migrants apprehended and handed over to the Bahamas Department of Immigration. And former employees of a local industrial company claims that they have been wrongfully terminated. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, Bahamasair's inaugural flight from Raleigh, North Carolina to Freeport, Grand Bahama touched down yesterday with over 100 passengers who were greeted by a delegation line and a grand ceremony. Our Aja Kwan and cameraman Jacoby Thomas were both on board yesterday, and now she's back joining us live in studio with the details. Welcome back, Aja. How was the experience on such an historic flight?
Ramiko, that's right. Our cameraman Jacoby and I are back, and as we touched down here on the island, the aircraft was greeted by a water salute. Now, once the seatbelt signs were turned off, passengers hurriedly disembarked the plane, where they met a number of officials waiting to greet them at the bottom of the staircase. Officials like the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Parliamentary Secretary at the Ministry of Tourism, MP John Pinder, Senators the Honorable Randy Roll and Honorable Kirkland Russell, Managing Director of Bahamasair Tracy Cooper, and a host of other officials. The passengers were then directed to a welcoming ceremony. junkanoo, a red carpet, onto live band and a vibrant ceremony, all for passengers on Bahamasair's inaugural flight from Raleigh, North Carolina to Freeport. Calling it another grand day for the island, Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, noting that the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, and the Ministry for Grand Bahama have all been on a mission to revitalizing Grand Bahama's tourism product and increase airlift.
Our blueprint for change, the Davis Cooper administration pledged to revamp the tourism model throughout the Bahamas with a focus on promoting our vibrant Bahamian culture while repositioning Bahamasair to service international routes.
President and CEO at Raleigh-Durham International Airport, Michael Landguth, extending gratitude to Bahamians, noting that the Bahamas picked a very good community to start service into and that they will be very pleased with what the results look like.
I want to extend an invitation to all of you that are here tonight. Please come up, join us up in North Carolina at some point in time when you have time. Enjoy the amenities we have to offer, but also enjoy our southern hospitality. Just like the Bahamian hospitality you showed us, we want to show you the same hospitality when you come back into the region itself.
Acting Director General at the Ministry of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, speaking to how the vision of this inaugural flight came to fruition and that there is more to come for Grand Bahama.
The images that you see in the ads, they're real. The culture, the history, the heritage, it's here. The cosmopolitan flair, it lives in the city. The off the beaten path has taken residence in Grand Bahama.
We're looking to bring more to Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is important to the Bahamas, and on behalf of the board, Grand Bahama is important to us. So the more you want, the more Tracy could do, and the more the pilots can fly, we'll definitely be back.
Now, Ramiko, the flight will be every Thursday and Sunday with direct flights to Freeport, and it continues to New Providence until January 7th, 2023. Live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Aja Quant. Back to you, Ramiko.
Thanks, Aja. Now, President of St. Augustine University, Dr. Christine Johnson McPhail, was also on board that inaugural flight, making the university's presence known here on the island. The institution is a four-year liberal arts, historically black university with a large population of Bahamian students. Those students say this new direct flight makes their voyage from university to home much easier, more affordable, and very convenient.
That's the best thing, because it was sometimes where I would be stuck in Fort Lauderdale Airport waiting for another flight to get into Freeport. So a direct flight from Raleigh to Freeport, great.
I feel as if the flight would be a good opportunity for the Bahamian students because it's a better way for us to get home. Also, it's a Bahamian flight. It's a Bahamian airline, so rather than us, even though it's good to support everyone, if we support our one, it's always good.
I'm taking it, actually going home this December. It's exciting because we don't have to delay in Fort Lauderdale no more. It was difficult because, you know, to connect the flight, you got to make sure the times connect and you don't want to get leave, so I like it.
On their recent mission trip to Raleigh, North Carolina, tourism officials and the Ministry for Grand Bahama visited SAU, where Bahamian student leaders were able to engage with them tonight. We have their reaction.
It was more of a privilege to have, you know, our country's higher ups to come and see us, to speak with us, to hear us out, and, you know, it's a great opportunity.
It was really wonderful to see exactly what government's doing to, like, put into not only the students, but as well as the country. It was an exciting experience. I'm very grateful for it.
The experience was exciting and interesting. We got to see what happens when, you know, negotiations between the Prime Minister and our schools, see how opportunities are granted to us as students. So it was very intriguing.
Well, this winter season, Grand Bahama will see increased airlift as Sunwing is slated to make its return to the island on December 17th and will run through May of 2023. Marketing consultant for the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board says it is exciting news for the island's tourism sector. The Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation making the announcement of the Canadians' flight return to Grand Bahama back in August of this year. Sunwing's last visit to the island was in 2019. Marketing consultant for the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board, Caramel Churchill, says having the flight return this coming winter is exciting news.
We're excited about the fact that not only are they returning, but they are returning from both Toronto and Montreal, 2 flights per day. 2 flights on Saturday for the winter season. So we're really pleased about that and the hotel properties that they're going to be working with.
Each flight has a 250 passenger capacity, and data shows that Sunwing has always flown at near full occupancy. Churchill says the indication from the increased flight shows Grand Bahama is in for an improved winter season compared to previous years.
It's certainly a boost for our tourism economy here on Grand Bahama Island. The addition of Bahamasair coming in from Raleigh, American Airlines from Charlotte, and also too the return of the Orlando service. I mean, that's a lot more airlift that Grand Bahama has ever seen in quite some time. So we really embrace that, and we're looking forward to seeing increased room nights here on the island, increased occupancies, and, particularly in the Sunwing case.
The Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, in conjunction with the Ministry of Grand Bahama, has been promoting the island abroad in several key markets. Churchill shares what other initiatives they are engaged in to inspire travelers to visit.
So certainly, when persons are talking about airlift, there has to be a demand. And so the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board, working in partnership with the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, particularly in their recent global sales mission, we have been in support of that because we want to re-engage the market, let them know that Grand Bahama is available and open for business, but also, too, by doing so, we actually increase demand for the destination.
And some good news for West Grand Bahama. The administrative government complex in West Grand Bahama is slated to open its doors in just 2 months. However, construction and repairs are still underway. The Minister for Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Obi Boshcom, brought remarks at Central Government Agency held at the 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium for the first time, expressing that the government complex will serve as a staple in the community.
That is why this is no small step here. Bringing the government to this gymnasium is just the first step, because in a short period of time, just down the road, that glamorous, exciting building will be opened, and all the government agencies will be in that building. All a part of a plan to transform governance to West Grand Bahama. Governance, which is the people.
Minister Wilshcombe urging the residents to prepare for an upcoming training workshop geared towards the preparation of eligible workers to gain employment once the complex opens. I
want you to know, and I'm strong about this, we're looking for the best and the brightest. We want you to take the opportunity to train, to come into the program, to learn. Because why should we be second class? Let us be able to put in the facility some of the best minds, so that when people come for service, they won't be saying, well, that's 8 Mile Rock. They'll be saying, this is the best that it can ever be. This is transformation, and this is fundamentally important to me. When I leave public life, I want to leave a brand new place, a place where every single soul believes in themselves, where they understand that these communities are equal to anywhere in the global community. It can happen.
Now, in the latest update, the Office of the Prime Minister Press Secretary Clint Watson confirming yesterday that the government complex will open the first quarter of 2023. He revealed that the application for the license has been made for occupancy. Well, in news from the crime beat, 27 Cuban migrants found at Elbow Key and Key Sal by the U.S. Coast Guard and handed over to the Bahamas Immigration on Thursday. The group was spotted by the United States Coast Guard, rescued from both keys and handed over to a team of immigration officers at the Lucayan Harbor yesterday. After taking custody of the 27 Cuban migrant immigrants, officials transported them to their office for further processing and to be examined by staff from the Disease and Surveillance Unit of the Public Hospitals Authority. The migrants were all found to be in good medical condition. Meanwhile, the group is expected to be formally charged in the Freeport Magistrates Court on Monday and face charges of illegal landing. They will then be transported to New Providence to be housed at the detention center until arrangements are made for them to be repatriated to Cuba. Meanwhile, police are actively investigating a stabbing incident that occurred at a business establishment on Pioneers Way, Freeport, Grand Bahama on Thursday. Preliminary reports revealed that shortly after 7 p.m., the victim got into an altercation with a male known to him who stabbed him to the upper back. The victim was taken to hospital for medical treatment, where he remains in serious condition. Officers from the Mobile Division arrested a 22-year-old who was assisting with the investigations. Well, two former employees of PharmaChem are alleging that they have been wrongfully terminated by the company tonight. The two men, speaking with our Jolanda Thompson-Everest, revealing that a proposed agreement of a shift change was presented to them, and when they opposed to sign the agreement, they were terminated immediately. Here's that report.
The two former PharmaChem employees alleges that they received a warning letter, which stated if any employee does not agree to the new shift schedule, they would have to accept a severance package and a leave of absence. 14 years now, going on 15 years, employee Orville Forbes said that he and his ex-co-workers fortunately do not have proper representation and believes the powers to be that ought to defend the employees has been sadly compromised. He says the excuse that the company is stating is that they are trying to properly staff management. He shares what happened.
I looked at all the details and said to ourselves that look, what they're proposing we cannot accept. The phases they choose to go in is that they did say that they want to go on a 12-hour shift system. It was upon us to agree to that terms. We never had the opportunity to sit down as a group and say, look, you give us an option to say whether we want to accept this or not. They put it on us. We have to accept. If we don't accept, then we're not a part of the program. They put it in a way that you are coming to a term where you're trying to end your own contract.
Forbes said he and his former co-workers tried to discuss their decision and debate the best route they should take for them and their families.
If we worked for 14 some plus years as a standard hour worker, which is 8 hours, weekends off, time and a half for any time you work on a weekday or double time for weekends, that's a standard hour worker. That is what we were hired as. Now, your life is all of a sudden have to be changed and adjusted. You have a family, you trying to ask someone to work a different shift after all those years is kind of rough. And at the same time, conditions that are probably less favorable to all of us.
The terminated employee notes that when a person goes into an agreement with a company and accept their terms, it is fairly measured. However, he is noting that he and his co-workers were not handed that opportunity. He exclaims that the relevant opportunities and matters as such should be dealt with, leaving an example for other companies to properly handle their employees with better care.
Any organization that has no balance of power where the Bahamian people can't feel safe to exercise their own opinion and to know that because jobs are limited in this community, I think that the companies have to be held accountable for laws, labor laws that they tend to ignore.
Forbes say he and his co-workers have accepted the severance packages, but refuses to accept any other offer at this time. Now, our ZNS News team tried to reach out to officials at PharmaChem, but did not receive a response up to news time. This is a story we will continue to follow. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
And when we come back, members of the official opposition speaking to the cleanup efforts on Grand Bahama following the passage of Hurricane Nicole. The details of that story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
Come on down. Come on down now.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
This Thanksgiving, reserve your table at Off the Deep Edge Restaurant. They're serving up a special Thanksgiving combo for only $25. RSVP at 352-1664 or WhatsApp 807-3400. Off the Deep Edge Restaurant.
With the holiday season fast approaching, Grand Bahama says it's time for those window and cabinet upgrades. In stock now are white shaker cabinets, Swiss chocolate, Ovaltine brown, and Hello Milo cabinets. And if you're looking for windows, Grand Bahamas has PVC sliding windows, casement and hurricane sliding impact windows. Grand Bahamas on Queens Highway. Enhance your home in ways that beautify and last. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Niceness. Yeah, watch this. How you doing there, bad man? You can't let me, darling.
Get.
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 Yeah, you think guy's a dog ain't, but get. Give me this thing, girl.
Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up.
Hey, get him. I ain't get nothing.
Start, you stay there and let them rob me?
I'm gonna say mine up in this that pays us. I got. Hold on. But I do that, no. I get it said. That can't give me that right.
Just a reminder to members of the public that when depositing monies in the bank or any depository location, check your surroundings to be aware of any suspicious persons or vehicles lurking in the area with the intention of committing a crime. I'm advising you to seek the assistance of the police or perhaps an armored truck. Let's continue to work together to create safer communities.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Members of the official opposition charging that the advent of a disaster preparedness committee to address the concerns of residents on family islands and prepare them for possible climatic events has proven beneficial. They note, however, that in the wake of Hurricane Nicole, some long-standing concerns emerged following a canvass of the various constituencies.
We were apprised of what the challenges were that persons were having on various islands. The repair of homes that have been damaged since Dorian is a very serious concern. A lot of the anxiety in Grand Bahama was related to the fact that persons still had challenges with roofs that were leaking. The second thing that we clearly noticed is that debris, a significant amount of debris, is still on the ground.
Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, charging that authorities should exhaust all avenues in ensuring that residents on the impacted islands feel empowered. One way of doing this, he says, is through a heightened focus on the Small Homes Repair Program.
It is important for us to ensure that the Small Home Repair Program resumes and it comes to completion as soon as possible.
In other news, the Falcons Boys Club and Champs Mission will be hosting a free air-conditioned seminar for boys on Saturday, November 26, 2022 at the Champs Community Center beginning at 10 a.m. A number of air-conditioned companies locally have partnered with the Falcons Boys Club to assist in this initiative, which aims to equip young men with additional labor and maintenance skills.
I want to say how grateful I am today to each and every single one of you for taking part as we prepare for next week's Saturday's air condition and refrigeration seminar where the various companies that we're going to name is going to be bringing their staff, bringing their products to be able to display here on the island of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Transmission is so proud to be part of what's going on right here in Grand Bahamas. And we're excited that through the organization here and through all the companies that are here, that we're able to train boys and to see to get good jobs. But not only that, is all the companies will also be receiving young men who love Jesus Christ.
We know that it is not an easy task. So I would like to just encourage Pastor Rule to continue the work that he's doing and interacting with the youth.
Now, this one-day seminar will focus on strategic skills and tools for those in attendance to prepare and maintain air-conditioned units as a possible career choice.
Invest in young men in time. Anyone can put out money, but when you put out time, that shows that you're really passionate about what you do, about helping young men to move forward.
We want to just salute you for all the efforts that you're making to allow young men the opportunity to become positive role models in their community.
We believe that giving back to the youth and preparing our future fathers, husbands, workmen, free education or some sort of skill is very important, and we look forward to the great turnout that we're going to have.
We are very pleased and grateful to assist the Falcons Boys Club and Champs Mission in their endeavors to help, mentor, and train young men to become upstanding citizens in our country.
Your Friday evening sports check is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. Well, Team Grand Bahama had a pretty good showing at the Bahamas Archery Tournament in the nation's capital. We also have high school volleyball scores from Abaco, but let's begin with primary school basketball right here on Grand Bahama.
It was nothing but high-octane action as the Jimmy Comer Keith Mullings Primary Basketball League tipped off yesterday evening at the St. George's Gymnasium. The Morrismore Raccoons got off to a hot start after taking down the Freeport Primary Conquerors 13-9. Here's head coach Richie Adderley on the win.
Get that nervousness off their chest. I bet we'll look much better the next game.
Next, the Walter Parker Pacers, living up to their name, outpacing the BMES Warriors 12-5. Pacers coach Denzel Knowles says it started on the defensive end.
And we came out, we played hard, played defense, got some really good players who get some big buckets for us.
And it was a close one between the Freeport Primary Eagles and the Tabernacle Falcons. But the Eagles would soar away with the win, 9-4.
Initially, when they had Tabernacle name, they were afraid. And so I had to get their minds off of that, work some strategy with them.
The action continues this evening at the St. George's Gymnasium. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Shane Stark.
Switching gears now, high school volleyball playoff scores from Abaco. SC Boodle knocked off Agape in 3 sets in senior girls play, winning 25-19, 25-19, and 25-12. They will take on Patrick J. Bethel in next week's championships. In the second game, Agape would defeat SC Boodle 3-1 in senior boys play. SC Boodle won the first set 25-23, but Agape would battle back to win the next 3 sets 25-16, 25-19, and 25-3. They will take on Patrick J. Bethel in next week's championships. The junior boys championship will be Agape going up against Patrick J. Bethel. Games will be held at Grace Gym beginning at 3:30. And finally in sports, Team Grand Bahama had a pretty good showing at the Bahamas Archery Tournament in New Providence this past weekend. Here's head coach Alonzo.
They all execute properly. I mean, they show, they really learn what we have been teaching over here for months. And the results are right there, you know, the number of trophies, the first places, second places. Our delegation was 10 persons and we harvested probably 8 trophies, which is 3 first places, 2 second places, 2 third places.
And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed and have a great weekend.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath. Number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661.
30 years of service with integrity. Services in Abaco, New Providence, and Grand Bahama, providing modern and state-of-the-art equipment, specializing in the maintenance and operation of waste treatment plants, waste oil movement, sludge extraction, tank cleaning, elite portable toilets, and hand wash stations. We are efficient, reliable, and cutting edge. We are B&B Galaxy.
My purse, someone take my bag, someone take my bag. Call the police, someone took my bag. Someone took my bag at one point. I leave the car for 1 quick second and someone take my bag.
Crime prevention should be everyone's business. Therefore, we want to remind you not to leave your bags or valuables visibly seen on the seat of your vehicle unattended. This negligent practice will create an opportunity for a criminal to commit a crime. Please desist from such practices.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend tonight is our very own Assistant Production Director, Gershon Sween. Sean, we wish you a very special happy birthday from the entire news team here in the North. We also want to send a special birthday shout out to Ann Woodman of Christ the King. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. Enjoy your weekend.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. U.S. Congress has questions for FTX. The opposition takes to the Prime Minister's office. The national fly carrier off to the Tar Heel State. And in sports, the battle for Atlantis on tap for Thanksgiving. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, I'm Jimenita Swain. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news, the Securities Commission of the Bahamas assumes control of the assets of FTX Digital Markets Limited. The Commission noting action it took on November 12th of directing the transfer of all digital assets of FTX Digital Markets Limited to a digital wallet for safekeeping, as they claimed in a release that urgent interim regulatory action was necessary to protect the interests of clients and creditors of FTX Digital Markets. Under the Digital Assets and Registered Exchanges Act, the Commission has the authority to apply for a judicial order to protect the interest of clients or customers of the Commission's registrant. It is not the understanding of the Commission that FTX is a party to the U.S. Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings. The Commission's release concluded that officials will, over the coming days and weeks, engage with other regulators and authorities in multiple jurisdictions to address matters affecting FTX's creditors, clients, and stakeholders globally to obtain the best possible outcome. The Free National Movement continuing to demand answers from the government on the FTX big bust. This despite the Prime Minister's communication in Parliament on Wednesday, where he said the FTX investigation is of the highest order. Prime Minister Davis also noted that based on analysis, because of the framework in place, the regulators were able to take immediate steps to protect the interests of clients, creditors, and other stakeholders. But still, this morning, FNM leader Michael Pintard led a group of supporters to the Prime Minister's Cable Beach office, but were blocked by police from entering. While Pintard holds the government is not responsible for FTX's implosion, he argues that it, however, has a duty to carefully manage the investors' interest.
Is the government satisfied that all taxes that were due to the people of the Bahamas has been collected? Has NIB been paid? Has the Minister of Labor interacted with the company with respect to all the emoluments, all of the benefits, all of those things associated with severance that all employees are entitled to? Have you sent out regulations, draft of the DARE Act, which we still stand by? Have you sent that out for peer review locally and internationally to make sure that we are leaders in the financial services sector as well as in the digital asset space?
The FNM leader insists he's trying to ensure there isn't an appearance of conflict from both political sides in order to protect the country's integrity and reputation.
To what extent any member of the Free National Movement spoke directly to those persons, they ought to declare. A few of the cabinet ministers are here with me today who served in the last administration. We certainly had no discussion and was not aware of any discussion. But that is information that we should readily provide. The longer anyone takes to provide the simple information, when did they come, who did they talk to, what was the nature of the discussion, who gave the final approval, when they started to operate.
Well, the Prime Minister this evening issued a response to the FNM's protest, charging that while no regulator can prevent all misconduct, it is important for a regulator to be able to move when misconduct occurs, adding that it is because the Bahamas has a robust regulatory framework that the Securities Commission was able to move immediately to take steps to protect clients, creditors, and other stakeholders. The Prime Minister reiterated that digital assets is a new and evolving field for which the Attorney General has planned updates to the regulations before year's end. What was also stressed is that court matters involving FTX are likely to be complex and that as developments unfold, there will be a lot of posturing by those looking to score legal or political points. Still, the government remains committed to the country's reputation for having a strong digital assets framework, will only be enhanced by investigations and the actions of regulators. International Deliverance Praying Ministries among the organizations receiving donations from FTX digital markets at the beginning of the year. Senior pastor Bishop Lawrence Singing Prophet Rule says he felt like he was in heaven when he received $50,000 to feed thousands of residents in need. He boasts that the money has been a blessing to the masses.
To be honest with you, that's the first time when I was feeding the massive of people that a company has ever donated $50,000. So in areas like these, that was like heaven to me, not just looks like a goose. They were here. And when they saw the massive of poor people, and I give God praise because that brought a great, great relief.
Saddened, though, by the cryptocurrency giant's collapse, Bishop Rule stressed the need for due diligence when international companies want to call the Bahamas home.
When people come in the land to be a blessing to us, we gotta give God praise. Because for real, we don't want people to just come and purchase all of our lands and down the road, the next generation can't walk the road, can't even walk on the beach.
Well, the government must be doing something right. Rothschild & Co., its independent advisor on its nearly $12 billion debt portfolio, has issued a congratulatory note following improvements in the country's yield curve, according to Financial Secretary Simon Wilson.
Our performance, our bonds have improved tremendously. We had an inverted yield curve. That curve is now flattened out and is now being normal. So we are performing, in their words, we're performing better than the market, the AM market, given the things that we do and the good news. And these fiscal results here, we don't want to rest on them and say so forth, but these fiscal results here are very good. It should give a sense of comfort to investors that the government is on the right track.
Nearly 100 additional people were hired this year to assist with tax collection as government moves to recoup millions of dollars to further boost revenue. Further, a proposal has been put to government for staffers in the Family Islands, which account for 30% of the country's economic activity, but just 5% of revenue.
For the Family Islands account for 30% of our economic activity, and only around 5% of our revenue. So there's an imbalance, and that imbalance is easy to explain when you realize in many Family Islands, outside of the 1 or 2 custom officers, there's nobody there involved in dedicated revenue. So one of the things we want to do is make revenue administration a year-long activity in the Family Islands, as opposed to seasonal, where we send a special team in, and so forth, and broaden it from their customs. So we have a clear strategy for the Family Islands, and that's part of us achieving this 25% of GDP.
Well, hours after securing an agreement for staff members, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas signed a new industrial agreement for its middle managers. Anthony Smith has the details.
But I want to say to you today, we are excited to be signing once again.
For the second day in a row, Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas execs have found themselves sitting at the table. This time around with officials of the Bahamas Communications and Public Managers Union, the two entities today inking a deal that will see to the security of BCB managers for the next 3 years to come.
We anticipate that today with the signing, there will be a commonality in feeling and hand in heart that the interests of your workers, and also by extension mine, and also the employer, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, would have been satisfied.
The signing of the industrial agreement comes after a record 5 weeks of union negotiations, and even more than that, after managers continued their commitment for more than a year in the absence of an actual contract. The new deal, however, will address a number of their concerns and includes a breakdown of new procedures in the event of another health crisis. It's also one which, according to officials, aligns more evenly with that of the agreement inked with line staff.
The contract speaks to quite a bit of benefits. We appreciate the benefits we were able to achieve. We look forward to, again, just using this time to now encourage our members to, as we move forward, to again be all about taking the Broadcasting Corporation to another level.
And to that end, the contract follows BCB managers as they prepare to head into the corporation's most intense year yet. With the return of Junkanoo Bay, the country's 50th anniversary, and a slew of all new projects to follow, the contract signing and subsequent boost in morale comes at a most convenient time.
There's a lot of things happening in 2023 and beyond that's going to put our people to task. And we wanted the last thing for them to be worried about is, that they have a deal, or that they have a deal that they feel is fair.
The contract signing follows a deal inked with the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Anthony Smith.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. We are looking at an area in the southwest Caribbean Sea. It's been there now for several days with some disorganized showers and thunderstorms, and the Hurricane Center is giving it a very low chance of developing over the next several days, about a 20% chance of that happening. But elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is not anticipated over the next 5 days. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
Fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast, I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast, I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
And it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
We need to save.
Be happy! Save at KFC with the one-piece chicken box fill-up for only $5.95. Enjoy genuine savings and the genuine flavor of KFC chicken fried to golden perfection with crispy fries, a buttery biscuit, and an ice-cold Pepsi. Only at KFC Nassau.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Thanks for staying with us. 12 local entrepreneurs awarded over $900,000 in funding from the government for digital business projects. The initiative, a part of a government-based digital innovation competition sponsored by the Inter-American Development Bank. Applauding the participants, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis.
Undefeated talent pool, whom we proudly call our own. You are our children, our colleagues, and our friends. You have both solutions which we need. And for those ideas and names that will be called tonight, I announce that this is your time and your turn. Ladies and gentlemen, before I take my seat, can we give a rousing cheer for our Digi innovators who are innovating our future. Thank you and congratulations again to all of you.
The initiative, part of an 8-month process, candidates were required to submit business proposals to enhance the public service through the digital space, be Bahamian, have a parental consent if younger than 18, submit a business plan, executive summary, and have an innovative idea that impacts the public service. Project awardees calling the moment significant.
I think that the process of getting here, sometimes it can get very lonely as an entrepreneur. But one of the things that I think I'm so grateful for is opportunities like this where we have individuals that see people out here that are doing good work and awarding them for the good work that they're doing. So I want to thank the government for this opportunity to be an awardee here, and I hope that we all, whether it's myself or other businesses, can use this opportunity to continue to build on their dreams.
What's next is actually getting Slide Technologies up and running, servicing the government entities with our self-serve kiosk. So our concept is pretty innovative in the fact that it allows e-service access to all citizens. We found that there was a gap, especially for citizens that may be hearing impaired, visually impaired, or simply without internet access or mobile devices. So Slide will definitely be able to fill that gap and allow faster services for pretty much every government department that can adapt to it.
A reported 75 brand new cruise ships are coming out within the next 10 years, and the principals behind Long Island's recently sealed $250 million multi-phase project is hoping to capitalize on this. Addressing Long Island's business outlook on Thursday was Sharif Sal, who, along with his business partner, Carlos Torres de Navarra, is behind the much-anticipated Family Island development, the first phase, creating a greenfield cruise destination.
Our abilities, what we're expecting is that we can accommodate up to 12,000 people at this location. Okay. Once it's fully operational and up and running, we anticipate around 200 to 250 full-time employment. As we started out with the project, we thought we were only going to get ships from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Canaveral, Baltimore, New York. But we talked to some people and they said, no, you could get people, cruise lines from Tampa, from Galveston, from New Orleans. It would fit in a lot of itineraries.
Sal says the goal is not to disturb the environment. Further, the project will be locally themed in terms of colors and architecture.
The goal is not to make it like some of the other destinations, retail store, Straw Hat Market, huts right there. We're going to be able to give locals the opportunity to become entrepreneurs and come on the site and do their own crafts, their own businesses as well. Our goal, unlike the private islands that they do their own excursions, no, we're going to partner up with a Bahamian company, get people going. The goal is to be able to accommodate 2 Oasis-sized vessels. We know that from numbers, with Carlos being a former executive up there, you will get 70% of your guests that will come off.
Ever been to the Tar Heel State? Well, if not, it just got a bit easier. This as officials of Bahamasair launched its newest route to Raleigh, North Carolina. Anthony Smith was one of the first passengers to travel along the new route.
Welcome aboard Bahamasair's Flight 145 with services into Raleigh, North Carolina. An all-new announcement for an all-new route.
I love the idea of a direct, nonstop. We have always had to fly through Florida, so we're flying straight from North Carolina there, getting there in a couple of hours. We're so excited.
The destination creating that buzz, Freeport Grand Bahama, the premier stop in Bahamasair's new direct international route with continued services into New Providence. It's a monumental addition that comes as the company continues to tout the airline's future plans of expansion. The new route not only soon to lift their prospects, but to boost their revenue too.
We did our homework. We did the cost-benefit analysis, and we see where, based on certain load factors, even not 100% load factor, but less than that, running our numbers, we see where this could be a very lucrative route for us.
The route now joins American Airlines as one of 7 direct flights to the northern island of Grand Bahama, a move which increases airlift as the island poises itself for million-dollar developments and an increase in investor confidence. When full, the new route will bring in almost 400 passengers weekly, and according to Acting Director General of Tourism Latia Duncombe, there's also pent-up demand for the destination.
We're set to exceed 2019's numbers month over month for the next 3 months. So the interest, when we speak about the interest, it's been strong. The data tells the story. The interest is definitely there from the visiting community, and we're going to see more and more economic activity, more and more airlift within the islands of the Bahamas.
Some 4 million people use Raleigh-Durham as their home airport, and even more than that, 8 million people fly out of their gates each year. Those numbers for Bahamasair officials translating into more passengers, a feat that bodes well for both Raleigh-Durham and Bahamasair.
We think this is going to do very well in our community, and we think there's huge demand. So we're looking for an opportunity not only to make this successful, but to grow these additional flights in this market as well.
Now, this is a route that currently runs twice weekly, but according to officials, as demand increases, so will those flights. Reporting from Raleigh, North Carolina, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
In other news, the Rehabilitation Offenders Committee ensuring that all applications submitted are processed in the shortest possible time. From January to October, 80 out of 146 applications have been expunged. 5 persons were denied, 18 applied too early, 1 person was recommended for counseling, and 21 were referred to the Prerogative of Mercy Committee. Chairman Paul Farquharson provided this update during a press conference at the Ministry of National Security this morning.
The offenses are a wide range of offenses. But, for example, today, the majority of the offenses are for small amounts of marijuana. There are other offenses, but the majority of persons we are seeing today, for example, out of the 27, about 12 or 13 of them are for small amounts of marijuana. And I must say that there are some persons we have to refer to the Prerogative of Mercy, which is another body which is chaired by the Honorable Minister, co-chaired by the Attorney General and some other persons. And as we interview them, those 7 offenses that this committee cannot deal with, we interview them and then make a referral to the Prerogative of Mercy.
The Rehabilitation Committee is also concerned about the limited amount of Family Island applications submitted.
So the plan is sometime mid next year, I would like to host a workshop on the island of Eleuthera, whereas I can have a few of my colleagues join me on the island of Eleuthera, not only to show the completion of an application, but also to market the expungement committee on the Family Island.
Like Eleuthera has indicated, it's a bit slow, and I believe it's because of the information that really is not shared. And so we are also recommending that we will host actually town meeting in Exuma.
Also making news tonight, sitting and former female parliamentarians from across party lines coming together in a parliamentary retreat over the next 2 days at the Margaritaville Resort here in New Providence. The focus of the event, to form a female parliamentary caucus in the Bahamas committed to advancing the rights of women and girls, among other issues. The retreat's being held in partnership with UN Women Caribbean and the Commonwealth Parliamentary Secretariat Association, among others. Organizer Charlene Paul provides more insight on the initiative.
So that we can reach across the aisle in a multi-partisan formation and ensure, full participation and inclusion of the major parties, so that we can get together and work on the issues that face women and girls in particular here in the nation, because we believe the whole entire nation would be better for it.
House Speaker, the Honorable Patricia DeVoe, and Speaker for the National Assembly in Belize, the Honorable Valerie Woods, agree that the coordinated efforts of all participants will accelerate the goals of the caucus.
What we are doing is we are reaching across the divide. This is very much bipartisan, and we're bringing women together for the purpose of gender equality and the importance thereof. And so we're getting together on this historic event, together as women, to discuss and sit before panels and talk about the importance of gender-based equality, not just in Parliament, but in societies at large.
We in Belize, the few women parliamentarians, we just recently, over the past several months, decided to undertake a similar session where we would like to establish a women's caucus. And so it's really a pleasure for me to be here to share the experience that we've gone through so far, the progress where we're at, the challenges, the experience, and looking to see how Bahamas is doing it for possible lessons that we can learn.
It's Friday, and it's time now for the answers to our weekly poll question. This week, we asked, rate the government's preparedness and response this hurricane season, A, B, C, or D. Those of you responding via our website voted as follows: A, 20%, B, 43%, C, 14%, D, 24%. And those taking to Twitter to vote said A, 13.3%, B, 46.7%, C, 33.3%, D, 6.7%. And from YouTube, A, 34.7%, B, 26%, C, 21.7%, and D, 17.3%. Thanks for participating. Stay with us. The National Report continues in a moment.
Tired of hoping the right candidates...
Hey, baby, you back? Man, it's so good to be home. All I do was eat, shop, and party.
Well, I know you left all of your money over there. I hope you left COVID there too. Anyway, you could get your COVID test for free.
COVID test for what?
Yes, there is rapid antigen COVID tests for anyone who travel who wants to get one.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't sick. What I need a COVID test for?
You don't have to have symptoms. We just want to be sure that the only thing you brought back with you is what is inside that suitcase.
You say it free?
You do not even have to make an appointment. And guess what? You have your results back within 15 minutes.
Wait, you say it quick, convenient, and it free? Thanks. Let me go find one of these testing sites.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Today is a great day for the Ministry of Tourism, for the Ministry for Grand Bahama, and indeed for the islands of the Bahamas. Non-stop direct service from Raleigh, North Carolina, into Grand Bahama, and then on to New Providence. This is the first time we've had this non-stop service, and we're just elated that we're able to start this service today. So the services are going to be twice weekly on Thursdays and Sundays. They can come for 2 days, they can come for 4 days, or they can come for an entire week. We're just excited about the opportunity today. When we see the finished product today, we have to think about where it all started and the boots on the ground. And it's a combined effort with the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Bahamasair at large, working collectively to make sure that this is a success. There's a trade, there's a travel trade, there's a lot of interest in the islands of the Bahamas. There's a lot of interest from North Carolina, more specifically Raleigh. There's so many connections when we look at the two cities. We're just so excited today that the hard work has now come to fruition, and many of our visitors can enjoy direct and non-stop service into the islands of the Bahamas. So the events today, they will start here in Raleigh, North Carolina, here at the airport, and also continue on the ground in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and we're just so excited about it. We want everyone to know, the diaspora, college students, the visiting community at large, the driving community in the neighboring North Carolina area. The islands of the Bahamas is awaiting you. Clean, green, pristine, with authentic cultural experiences for everyone to enjoy.
Get a merry makeover this Christmas from Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotiaplan loan to win a home renovation. This Christmas, unwrap the celebration. $3,000 for your home, new lamp, new decor, new couch that you
Win
own.
a $3,000 home goods gift card when you apply for a Scotiaplan loan this Christmas. We're giving you the gift of a low interest rate and up to 2 months with no payments. Plan the perfect Christmas with your Scotiaplan loan. Use it for any purpose, plus benefit from flexible payment terms. Apply for a Scotiaplan loan now to enter to win a merry home makeover.
NBA League Pass is the coolest way to watch the hottest game there is. When threes rain down and superstars heat up. When clutch jumpers splash and your team is fire. You'll be there for up to 40 games a week. Any way you want to watch. NBA League Pass. Order now.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner? Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth, visit us today. Capital Lumber, build strong.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, is in Malta learning more about global digital health information systems upon the invitation of Malta's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Fern. On today's agenda, Minister Darville was expected to attend a meeting of health ministers on medical technology in small states, where he contributed to a ministerial roundtable discussion on the opportunities and challenges in implementing digital health systems and utilizing health technology. On Thursday, the minister participated in the annual MedTech World Conference. The Learning Medical Exhibition in Europe, the two-day event, assembles world leaders in health information technology space and showcases the latest innovations in healthcare while providing ample scope for networking. Dr. Darville also met with the Bahamas' Honorary Consul to Malta, Hilda Mercer. The Public Hospitals Authority receiving 16 respirators from the Life at Key Club during a brief ceremony on Wednesday. Life at Key Club officials making the donation after learning about the increase in respiratory illnesses, especially among children, and the need for equipment at the Princess Margaret Hospital. PHA officials acknowledged the need for portable and flexible solutions to meet patient needs during the COVID-19 pandemic. The oxygen concentrators were collected by PHA's Supplies Management Agency and will be deployed throughout the authority's institutions. Over the last 3 decades, Camille Lady Barnett has championed the cause of persons living with HIV/AIDS in the country. And as the observance of World AIDS Day nears, the Bahamas AIDS Foundation president says she's pleased with the progress the Bahamas has made, but acknowledges there are some challenges.
There is improvement in terms of prejudice and discrimination, but the reality is that it still does exist. And so education needs to get out to everyone so that they understand how you can and cannot catch HIV and AIDS. You know, simply by having a relative in your house who's HIV positive doesn't mean that you're going to contract HIV. Now, if you sleep with that person, you have unprotected sex with that person, then yes. But by, you know, sharing utensils or sharing the same bed, you're not going to contract HIV and AIDS. And so people need to know that. They need to know information, accurate information about HIV and AIDS, and then that will help to diminish the stigma and the discrimination. But unfortunately, it is still with us.
Activities marking World AIDS Day kicked off with free testing at the University of the Bahamas on Thursday.
The eve of World AIDS Day, we always have a candlelight vigil, and that vigil will be held on the 30th of November at 6 p.m. in the evening at the grounds of the Ministry of Health. And then on December the 2nd, we have and it's in the evening at 6:30 in the evening. We're calling it a sunset move, okay? And we're asking people to come out and walk and run and cycle, but we've added another component to that traditional walkathon. We have a little like a runner's village, or maybe like a little happy hour thing going on. We've got about 12 vendors, you know, conch and cone and, you know, wicked wings and those things that people like to eat. So at the end of the day, yeah, maybe you don't want to walk or run or cycle, but come and have something to eat.
In other news, former parliamentarian and trade unionist David Alexander Knowles laid to rest Friday in a state-recognized funeral at St. Matthew's Anglican Church. Knowles once served as president of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union and member of parliament for the former constituency of Salem. Among those paying final respects, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and other dignitaries. Knowles was laid to rest in the church's cemetery. He was 82 years old. A pontifical celebrated Mass of Thanksgiving today for the late Reverend Canon Warren Roll at Christ Church Cathedral. A native of Cat Island, Canon Roll taught at St. John's College and also worked at the University of the Bahamas up to his death. He also served at St. Agnes Church until his retirement. He was laid to rest in the churchyard at St. Mary the Virgin.
Not one, not two, but 3 days of fun. Get your 20s ready because there's something for everyone. That's right, Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center on Mackie Street in the former Q Club building is having a 3-day Binorama, November 25th, 26th, and 28th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Anything you want in the bin, from a selection of house and kitchenware items, games, toys, and electronics for just $20. So come on down because this is an event you don't want to miss.
I've been blown away. Totally love the vibe to really be able to lead this process. I feel a great sense of gratitude around being able to have Shelley to be here with us.
This event was one that you had to be here.
You know, any time that I am able to spend time with especially young women who have aspirations and things they want to achieve, it is just always wonderful. So this has been a terrific experience today.
A 46-year-old Murphytown Abaco man in police custody after being caught with 12 kilos of suspected cocaine and over $7,000 in assorted currency. Acting on intelligence, officers searched the man's apartment around 12:20 late Friday and found the illegal contraband. The drugs have an estimated street value of over $250,000. Investigations continue. Well, days after Tropical Storm Nicole barreled the Abacos with torrential rains and coastal flooding, with wind gusts of up to 75 miles per hour, 50 social services officers now on the ground assessing the damage brought on by the major cyclone. Senior Welfare Officer at the Department of Social Services is Tanel Cornish.
We are going to begin our initial assessment of homes in the Abacos. As a result of the passage of Nicole, we just want to be sure that everybody's homes are assessed, that so that they can receive the needed assistance. The form basically is looking at household, damages. That would be the structural and damages as well as furniture and appliances. Once we complete the assessment form, we will send it in. Of course, you know that Urban Renewal actually will be working along with us with this exercise. So, of course, Urban more or less is more responsible for home repairs, and so that would be to assist that agency with ensuring that they are able to and better equipped to assist and assess persons who are actually needing the assistance.
Officers assessing over 400 homes and businesses during Nicole's aftermath. Cornish says her work is all-encompassing and is now appealing for the public's support.
We are on the ground. We are the persons who are actually reporting that information so that persons can receive that assistance. So it's important that persons' voices are heard, that their needs are actually brought to light so that they can actually receive that assistance. So when you talk about social services, like we say, disaster, that is when we play a very big part in disasters.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. Outside of our studios, we are under partly cloudy skies, temperature just around 75 degrees. And if we could just get this sorted out for you, temperature-wise, we're at 76 degrees under cloudy skies. The winds are out of the northeast at 18 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,018.4 millibars. That's 30.08 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 70 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Key and Abaco, Marsh Abaco, 71 degrees. The Berry Islands, 79. 77 in Alistown, Bimini, 74 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Lutra, a little warm at 82 degrees, and that 82 extends into Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space at Andros. Fresh Creek in Central Andros at 77 degrees. Artistown, Good Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey at 82. Georgetown, Exuma, 84 degrees. 80 degrees in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 85. Acklands, 85. Marchitown, Inaugural, 82. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through Thursday, a bit on the breezy side, northeast at 15 to 20 knots. The wave heights, they're going to be 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. That's just a typo there. Low tide at 9:31 this evening. Another low tide at 9:56 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds also at 15 to 20 knots. Choppy seas 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, so caution flags are in place for the entire Bahamas. And as we take you into Sunday, in the northwestern parts of our country, the winds continue to increase out of the northeast, 15 to 25 knots. Very rough seas on Sunday, 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. The low tide will take place at 10:49 in the morning, with a high tide at 4:43 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, easterly winds once again at 15 to 20, and the wave heights 4 to 6 feet. With that caution flag remaining in place. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
My brother-in-law died. He left credit card bills, medical bills, and no life insurance. Now, every day is a struggle for my sister. I can't do it. I took my husband to Star General to sign up for a final expense plan. Anyone from 50 to 85 years old can get anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $30,000 worth of coverage. No matter what life has planned, we'll have the final expense plan from Star General.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
When it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
The forecast calls for great savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Best value kernel corn, 15 ounce, $1.19. First choice sugar, 4 pounds, $2.59. Sweet bananas, 99 cents per pound. Cardinal evaporated milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Smoked picnic hams, $2.69 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
Good evening. Welcome to Sports Friday. I'm Charles Fisher, all set for the weekend. The Battle for Atlantis will tip off on Saturday with the ladies' tournament. It's going to be an exciting 2 weeks ahead for the resort.
The women started arriving earlier this week, and we kick off the event tonight with our welcome reception. We have a great lineup on both the women's side and the men's side. We always, 2 years in a row, we've had the champions play here, so that we're looking forward to that again to happen this year. And, you know, it's grown over the years. This will be the 11th year for men's. And the women's teams are starting to grow also and catching on, which is great for us and great for the college athletes that get fabulous exposure on ESPN.
More tonight from the National Sports Hall of Fame, where some 19 persons were inducted into the class of 2022. Bringing remarks and congratulating our sports greatness was the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
To be inducted to the National Sports Hall of Fame is to be honored as one of the greatest Bahamians in sports, not only in the arena of competition, but in the development and growth of sports for others. As a country, we must continue to appreciate the work that these inductees have done to bring the Bahamas into the forefront for sporting achievement regionally and globally. Their achievements act as an inspiration to the next generation of athletes, not only to strive for greatness, but to develop the characteristics necessary to achieve greatness.
Also congratulating the legends was the president of the Bahamas Olympic Committee, Romel Knowles.
As the country paused to thank you for being the very best athlete in your time and at this place. I'm sure you couldn't have imagined in the twilight of your phenomenal careers the country would honor you by bestowing the title Hall of Famer. I encourage you this evening to wear it proudly, wear it responsibly, for I believe it is the higher honor that can be bestowed on any athlete or administrator in recognition for your invaluable contribution to sports.
Come Sunday, the Bahamas Roadmasters annual half-marathon road race will be held. 5 to 10K and half marathon. It's the 10th year anniversary of the event. Club President Anastasia Turnquist ready to hit the streets.
We haven't had an in-person since 2019 because of the pandemic. So this will be our first. We've had races in the past 3 years, but they've all been virtual. So this will be our first in-person. Everybody's coming together, running one race at the same time all together. Registration is fantastic. We're pretty much sold out. We have maybe about 50 spots, not even 50, less than 50 spots left. So it's been going great. I think people are just excited to be back, participating in road races.
Like in the past, expect a lot of international competitors.
We have a good quantum of international races, runners. I mean, they've been at us since about March. Is there races here? Are you doing a race? And so we're happy to say yes. They're going to come. We have a good number of international runners coming from Kenya, Canada, the U.S., Jamaica, Cayman, the U.K. We're attracting 450 persons, and as of this morning, we had just over 400, so we're pretty much almost sold out.
Roadmasters Public Relations Tony Longley on the course and picturesque route.
Wonderful thing about this course is that it is an internationally sanctioned course, and as a result of that, persons can use this event to qualify for a number of international marathons and half marathons. The course begins here at Abaco, or I guess it's called Western Esplanade at times, and we travel west. The 5K race will turn around in the vicinity of Go Slow Bend, the 10K in the vicinity of Bahama Boulevard, and the half marathon goes west to Sun Fun. We will have cheering teams along the route. We will have water stops along the route, and we will also have the assistance of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Their outriders will be helping us, as well as some of the local bicyclists who are in the various racing clubs. They will be here to assist us.
And that's going to put a wrap on Sports Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
Get a merry makeover this Christmas from Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotiaplan loan to win a home renovation. This Christmas, unwrap the celebration. $3,000 for your home, new lamp, new decor, new couch that you
Win
own.
a $3,000 home goods gift card when you apply for a Scotiaplan loan this Christmas. We're giving you the gift of a low interest rate and up to 2 months with no payments. Plan the perfect Christmas with your Scotiaplan loan. Use it for any purpose, plus benefit from flexible payment terms. Apply for a Scotiaplan loan now to enter to win a merry home makeover.
Welcome to the Cable Bahamas Business Solutions Cybersecurity Tip of the Day for data backups. Regularly backup your business's data. Set your backups to happen automatically and store them somewhere secure. When considering data backups, consider the rule of 3-2-1. Have 3 local backups, 2 digital backups, and 1 offsite backup. Remember, stay safe, stay informed, and stay protected.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures showing that front boundary now just slightly to the south of New Providence, and that will continue to trigger passing showers during the course of tonight and tomorrow. But come Sunday, we expect it to make a nice push towards the south and east, so we'll see some clearing on Sunday, but that will be short-lived, as by Monday, that front will start backing up once again over the northwest Bahamas, bringing with it the cloudiness and some more rain showers before making a final push come Tuesday of next week. Now, tonight, we are looking at breezy this evening, rather cloudy, with a couple of showers still looking around. 74 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow it's going to be overcast once again with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. 82 degrees for your high temperature and extended weather forecast. The wet stuff right into Saturday. A little better on Sunday with some residual showers. But come Monday, those heavy showers will return once again, and things will start improving on Tuesday as that frontal system makes that push towards the south. And then again on Wednesday, it backs right up on us once again. So we'll have those showers in our forecast as again on Wednesday. Temperature-wise, keeping you into the low to mid-80s, those nighttime temperatures into the low to mid-70s. Jemanita?
Thanks, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.